Buenos días, bienvenido a Semana 2, la segunda semana del semestre. So I'd like to welcome you to week 2, and in week 2 we will be covering chapter 2, capítulo 2. So the first thing when you get onto your Blackboard is that you'll click on the Semana 2 folder, and that will bring you right to this page. And obviously, if you're watching this video, you've clicked on the video here. Okay. Then right below, just like you saw in capítulo 1, you see the objetivos y metas. Okay. So in capítulo 2, you're going to be able to identify and talk about family members. You're going to indicate possession of people and things like my brother, their house. You'll be able to make appointments using appropriate structures to express time and dates, talking about months, years, dates, birth dates, and other events. In other words, we'll be using numbers that are above 100. You'll be able to conjugate regular Spanish verbs in the present tense, use them in conversation to make statements, ask and answer questions, etc. You'll also be able to formulate ask and answer questions, and these might be yes/no types or informational needed types of questions using appropriate vocabulary, intonation, and word order. Recognize some differences between characteristics of formal versus informal register. Express location and current condition using the appropriate forms of the verb estar, and be able to create some negative constructions using words such as nothing or never. And to do that, you first should watch this video. You'll read the textbook and complete the corresponding MSL, My Spanish Lab activities. Okay. There'll be 2 quizzes this week in My Spanish Lab. Okay. You will turn in on Wednesday of this week, which will be May 23rd. You'll turn in Dialogue 3, Diálogo 3. And on Sunday, May 27th, you'll turn in Dialogue 4, Diálogo 4. And you'll log 2 hours of your language and cultural contact for this week. You can also begin working on your presentation, which will actually be submitted at the end of week 3 on June 3rd. And you should be signing up for your midterm oral exam using the Google Calendar link below for May 31st. As of this moment, I have times available between 9 and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on that Thursday, May 31st. Okay, so then you want to look specifically at what you need to do, and so you can look at your Semana 2 plan. It's linked right there, but also linked right here. Okay, you're going to, again, read the textbook, complete the My Spanish Lab activities. All that should be done before May 27th, and remember, you don't want to wait till the very last moment. You want to do these a little bit each day. Okay, you'll also have the quiz. This quiz, okay, the details are on the Semana 2 plan, and you'll only have 15 minutes to take the quiz. Okay. The second quiz is a little bit longer, so you'll have 40 minutes to take the quiz. Okay. You will be in the same dialogue groups as you were for 1 and 2, so make sure you contact your partners. Again, Dialogue 3, Diálogo 3, is due on Wednesday, May 23rd, and it will be a nutritionist who's speaking to a diabetic patient. And Dialogue 4, Diálogo 4, which is a young man or woman who came into the ER after a bike accident, will be due on Sunday, May 27th. Okay, okay, so for more specific information of Diálogo 3, I click on that link. I see, as I did before, the general instructions and then the specific instructions. So your scenario is a receptionist in a doctor's office speaking with a patient. Okay. You're going to use the expressions that were found on pages 33 through 49. Okay, so you will be, finding out from the patient their name, how to spell their first and last name, find out how they're feeling, when their birth date is, their address, their profession, and the time of their appointment. Okay. And so I apologize, I believe I had a different scenario posted before. I will change that to this one. Okay. You really need to make sure you know your letters and your numbers to help with giving birth dates and addresses, as well as being able to spell your name. Remember, again, you'll do these dialogues twice, okay? So you'll need to switch roles between each time. Okay? So, get out of there. In Diálogo 4, this one was correct, where you will be, a doctor who's speaking with a patient who just came in after being in a bike accident. So you'll have the appropriate greetings and the introductions. You'll, again, find out some of the same information you did before. You want to find out how to spell the first and last name, find out how the patient's feeling, where the person lives, okay, what their address is. Find out what time it is. Does the patient know the time? Or even the date. Find out their birth date. Find out with whom they live. We want to incorporate the family vocabulary that we learned in this lesson, in this chapter. And then the appropriate thank yous. Okay. So, if I go back to semana 2, okay, you have information about your language and contact, cultural contact presentation number 1. If I click on that link, I'm brought up to this page, which gives you some instructions about completing the presentation, which will be a voiced over PowerPoint, but in English. Okay. I have an example from a semester a while back. Now, keep in mind that this goes way over the designated time limit. Okay. However, the visual presentation as well as the content presented, they show a very thorough example of what the presentation should be like. But you want to keep your presentation around 5 minutes. I would say no longer than 7. Okay. Now, when you actually review your presentation, notice this person had terminology. Okay. You don't have to put everything that you learned. Okay. Just, put some terms, and then as you're going over it, you could add other terms that you didn't include. Okay. Now again, this will not be due till June 3rd. So I'll get out of there. Now here, sign up for the oral exam. You want to make sure that you do so before Tuesday, May 29th. Here's the link again to my assignment calendar. Okay. If I click on that link, it's going to come up. Since today's date is the 14th, it's not going to show me the actual date. So I may need to scroll ahead, and then I see here are all my times, and I'll click on an appropriate time in which I can take my oral exam. Okay, and the recursos. Here we have more, again, the pronunciation of the alphabet. Some of you may have had some problems with the alphabet on prior dialogues. Genders, the gender of nouns. Okay, some information about possessive adjectives and conjugating verbs in the present. Interrogative words, asking questions that require information other than yes or no. And some PowerPoints on estar. Okay. So once you get done with all that, you are done with semana dos. Okay? Please, as always, let me know as soon as possible if you have any questions or if something is unclear. Bueno, nos hablamos pronto. Chao.